Justin Bieber is back in the spotlight after a long time, but not just because of Coachella. Instead, his sudden return to public attention is reigniting conversations that many thought had already faded. And at the center of those conversations is Sean Diddy Combs, a name now surrounded by growing scrutiny and speculation. There are claims circulating online, including alleged recordings and resurfaced clips, that have people questioning what really happened behind the scenes. None of this has been officially confirmed, but the timing is what's raising eyebrows. Because if Justin truly knows more than he's ever said publicly, it could shift the narrative in a major way. And what makes people pay closer attention are the old moments now being re-examined, clips where Diddy appears unusually cautious around Bieber, even checking him in ways that didn't seem normal at the time. Back then, it was brushed off. Now, it's being looked at very differently. There's one interview of Justin Bieber from years ago that most people overlooked at the time. But now, with everything being re-examined, it feels very different. Looking back, that moment hits harder than expected. When you listen closely, it doesn't just sound like a typical celebrity interview. It sounds like someone quietly revealing what growing up too fast really felt like. He's laughing, joking, talking about photo shoots and music, but underneath it all, something more real starts to come through. And then comes the question, what advice would he give his 15-year-old self? His answer is simple, but the meaning behind it says a lot more than it seems.
All right, let's get deep for a second. 21-year-old Justin is giving 15-year-old Justin advice on what to expect from the industry and what to expect to life, going through what you've gone through. What do you say to that dude now?
I would just say, just listen to the people who care about you, and also I was so... You can't really teach innocent, because I was innocent and I was young and I trusted everybody. And with being young and innocent in this industry, it's not necessarily the best thing because people take advantage of vulnerability. And so I think I was just in a place of just trusting everyone and thinking everyone was on my side and eventually getting burned. And yeah, it's just tough, man. And after a while, I started putting up walls and boundaries, and for a while, I kind of shut everybody out. And then I kind of lost my own personality and lost my charismaticness because I just didn't trust anyone. And then finally I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna let them win. I'm gonna give them some of me and learn how to put up a wall without closing myself off completely.
He describes himself as young, innocent, and someone who trusted everyone. And that's where things start to connect in a different way. Because there's one particular moment people keep going back to when Justin Bieber was just 15. His time spent around Sean Diddy Combs, often referred to online as those 48 hours. At the time, it didn't raise many questions, but now it's being looked at a lot more closely.
Yeah, so as soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna let you rock this every time you come to LA. Yeah, this gonna be yours. So every time you come to LA, it's a little dusty, but come get the front shot of this.
Man.
Head out. Minute.
Woo. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna be driving this next year.
Yeah, when you get 16, you come down there, you gotta, wear your seat.
I mean, I'm 15. You could ride in the passenger seat. I got my permit. Not yet.
No.
All right, 16.
You're not ready.
16.
Let's slow down. Let's slow down, Josh.
Okay.
Let's slow down. Okay.
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys is yours when you get 16. You good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
All right, man.
And then when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay. I get the mansion.
Yeah.
All right. So where are we off to now?
Where would you like to go?
I mean, wherever you want to go. Where are we going?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I have been given custody of him.
Earlier, people debated what Justin Bieber's relationship with Sean Diddy Combs really meant, whether it was something deeper or just part of the industry image. And while there's no confirmed evidence that Diddy directly harmed him, Bieber's own words still give a glimpse into what that environment may have felt like.
Especially when you really love someone, and I'm not the type of person who likes confrontation at all. Like, I hate it, especially with my friends. So I don't want to disappoint them. I don't want them to think that I don't love them, but there's sometimes you just need space, and it's like, I still love you, but I'm going to love you from a distance because I don't know if we're right for each other right now. Not you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's probably comforting for teenagers to hear this because we've all been there. Like, we've all had those friends that we couldn't say no to, and peer pressure, and this is probably how we gotten ourselves into situations that we have.
Yeah. I think I have a cool opportunity to just be a light and tell people, I'm human. I'm still gonna make mistakes. You might see me on TMZ tomorrow doing something else dumb, but I think that what's cool about this growth is people can see it, and it's like I've made a transition that's and been consistent, and I think that life is just about staying consistent and keeping pushing forward and knowing that, hey, this day might suck, but let me just look forward to tomorrow or the better days to come in the future.
An environment where a teenager is suddenly surrounded by powerful adults and doesn't really know who to trust. Justin Bieber has admitted that much himself. Being young and open in that kind of space isn't always safe. Not because of one person necessarily, but because of how the system operates. Vulnerability gets noticed, and sometimes it gets taken advantage of. Even Joe Budden once said that things he's heard about Bieber's early experiences were deeply emotional to think, and sometimes it happens in plain sight. Even Justin Bieber wasn't completely shielded from it. Moments played out on national television, and no one really stepped into question.
Justin Bieber is known for being very rebellious. When he was younger and rising to stardom, he was also placed in uncomfortable situations as a teenager and young adult by celebrities much older than him, such as Katy Perry and Jenny McCarthy, who got so far to even put hands on him on stage at the American Music Awards.
Wow! I feel violated right now. Wow.
But during the Ellen Show, an awkward moment for Justin Bieber happened when Madonna started hitting on him, and even asked him on a date backstage.
Lean into me again. You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks.
I don't ever remember smelling that good at 16. That was bad.
Yeah.
Wow, look at your eyes. What music are you listening to at the moment, Justin?
Well, I listen to a lot of different stuff. I'm really into Jessie J, actually.
Ah, well, she's here. We're going to get to see her later. Thank you so much. Look at him. Look at what a beautiful face.
According to people who have spoken about that circle, there have long been concerns surrounding what Justin Bieber may have experienced while around figures like Sean Diddy, Combs, and Usher. None of these claims have been officially confirmed, but the consistency of these conversations is what continues to raise questions.
Have been trying to drag Justin Bieber into this situation because there's a lot of suspect looking videos with Diddy and Bieber in it, and they're making a lot of allegations.
Mm-hmm. Same way they made allegations about Usher when Usher was younger.
I mean, do you think that there's any credibility to these allegations?
When there's smoke, there's fire.
Even Gene Simmons questioned Justin Bieber's behavior during that period, how a young, focused artist suddenly shifted into a phase marked by heavy partying and reckless decisions.
Yeah, Justin, he's been real quiet about this. I mean, I think like a lot of the other celebrities.
I was reading some, Cam, and the kids say after he went to Diddy camp, he started using drugs so heavy and was smashed every day. What would cause a kid who wanted to be an artist in the music business all of a sudden to start getting high and drinking and drugging, popping pills and smoking? What would cause a kid to do that?
I mean, usually trauma.
Or a Diddy party.
And that's where this ties back directly to what Justin Bieber himself has already admitted. He talked about trusting the wrong people, about feeling used, about being in spaces where he didn't fully understand what was happening around him, environments filled with pressure and confusion. He also opened up about feeling controlled and silenced during that time, which adds a deeper layer to the kind of experiences he may have been going through.
What's going on with you guys? Are you working together?
I'm not. I mean, I think that we've become friends in a strange way, you know?
Like Robin Big.
Yeah, it's like, exactly.
I'm big and you're Robin.
Yeah. No, I mean, to a lot of us, he's like a little brother. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to call and ask for advice. He's somebody that, in the industry-wise, the record industry is a strong family, and he's somebody that, you know, we definitely have our arms around, and we want to protect him because he's such genuinely a nice person besides his talent. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the greatest kids that you could ever know.
Justin, you know, Diddy bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, you know, he could buy you one also while you're
He
out.
got me a Lamborghini.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Oh, apparently not.
Those aren't direct accusations, but they do describe an environment where things can go wrong quickly, especially for someone that young. And it highlights how easily pressure, influence, and lack of protection can shape experiences in the entertainment industry. At the same time, online discussions are now becoming even more intense, with ongoing speculation and rumors around Sean Diddy Combs' legal situation and what may happen next. But as of now, much of it remains unconfirmed, and the real focus continues to be on accountability, evidence, and what is actually proven.
Sean Diddy Combs is pushing to have his prison term cut short. The rap mogul's lawyers took his case to a federal appeals court in New York on Thursday. They say his sentence for a sex-related conviction was too harsh. Jerika Duncan is here with more from those arguments. Jerika, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. A lot to consider here. Sean Diddy Combs' lawyers argue a judge wrongfully sentenced their client by considering more serious charges than what he was actually convicted of. They also say it is the most prison time ever given someone convicted of the same charges with a similar criminal history. Now, one of the prosecutors in this case insists that Combs' 4-year, 2-month prison term is below federal sentencing guidelines and in line with similar convictions. Last summer, as many of you remember, a jury cleared Combs of trafficking and racketeering conspiracy charges. The rapper was convicted of lesser prostitution-related offenses. He had pleaded not guilty to all charges and denied wrongdoing. He's scheduled for release in April of 2028. Nate, this should be interesting. It could take a couple of months before there's a decision. One of the judges in that appeals court saying that this was an exceptionally difficult case.
Naturally, it has led many people and alleged victims to wonder what would happen if he were to be released. Jaguar Wright has shared her own perspective on that, and it doesn't paint a simple picture. She suggested that, even in that scenario, not much would truly change. In her view, the industry would still look the same, still messy, still complicated, still filled with things people don't fully understand. From her perspective, one person's release or absence doesn't automatically repair a system that, in her opinion, has been operating in a similar way for years.
What does the entertainment landscape look like, Diddy coming home in 30 days?
Same as it look now. Bleak. Just not Memphis.
Just not Memphis.
Bars.
Goddamn.
You too.
Does Diddy have any redemption if he owns up to his depravities?
Prince said it best. Sometimes it snows in April. Oh, sometimes I feel so bad. So bad, so bad. Sometimes I wish that life was never ending. Whoa, all good things they say never last. That's Prince.
Come on.
That's Prince. That's what he said. April, we'll see.
And when it came to the idea of redemption, she didn't sound convinced. Jaguar Wright suggested that even if someone admits to wrongdoing, it doesn't automatically erase what has already happened. Some damage, once it's out there, simply doesn't go away. Then the conversation shifted into something deeper, how everything is connected behind the scenes. In her view, there are layers of influence and protection within the industry that the public doesn't fully see. She also implied that Sean Diddy Combs may be surrounded by powerful allies, where any scrutiny or accountability directed at him is perceived by some as a challenge to a wider network of power, not just one individual.
You got the game on the night that the documentary is coming out talking about free Diddy and free R. Kelly. And talking about how baby oil is cool and so is urinating on people.
That's wild.
You want to know the one thing that I'm finding also very interesting that nobody's paying attention to? The presence of that pyramid. You know, that the same thing that the Rock Nation likes to put up, the same hand symbol that the sororities and the fraternities like to use. I'm not going to emulate it because you know exactly what it looks like. The pyramid sign that Diddy was wearing that around his neck. You want to know what I found funny? That there were a bunch of YouTubers that were at that courthouse that were wearing that same, it was a much smaller version, but that same symbol.
Yeah.
I think, and that's the part of this story that makes it possible for people, I think, to graze over the reality of all that's going on. You know, if you just look at it from the salacious celebrity stuff, from pop culture media, so-called this new media, and I'm really not liking that term, this new media, because what it really sounds like is the name of a gang. Like the media is media. Because I'm looking at the people that are falling under it, and they're all the same people that are involved with, creating these propaganda campaigns. But that's exactly what Diddy was saying at the beginning of the documentary. We need somebody that is proficient, or fluent in being able to spin propaganda and narratives.
She started pointing out relationships, past connections, industry ties, and how people's paths often cross long before the public ever notices. To her, these aren't random coincidences. They're part of a bigger network that most people only ever see in fragments. And in discussions around Sean Diddy Combs, some voices suggest there's always been intense loyalty, competition, and tension behind the scenes of the industry. TK Kirkland has also pointed out patterns in how industry relationships overlap and connect in unexpected ways. And more broadly, conversations often mention how, in entertainment circles, personal relationships and professional rivalries can sometimes intersect, especially among high-profile figures like 50 Cent, creating narratives that the public only partially understands.
Diddy's not some nerdy dude who just happened to find some IG model and, oh my God, this is the girl of my dreams. Man, he has access to women all around the planet.
And that's his reputation.
But he went after the baby mother of one of his rivals.
Exactly.
Someone who had been taking shots at him for years.
Absolutely.
On purpose.
And he went after her knowing that they had beef.
Right. And slutted her out.
Slutted her out.
Just slutted her out.
Slutted out.
Having a whole basketball team run a train on her.
Totally
And
did. I
just
totally
the whole
agree.
thing, right?
Totally agree.
Right.
But his reputation from when he worked at Uptown, I'll be sure's girlfriend.
Oh, Kim Porter.
Kim Porter.
Right.
That's his reputation.
I'll be sure his baby mother.
Baby mama.
Yeah.
Then Eric Serum, his friend, the one that had she had his baby, Mia. So he's had a reputation of going after people.
Tupac's ex-girlfriend.
Tupac's ex-girlfriend.
He got a baby with her too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So my point that I'm making to the men listening, if you don't understand this, then you're just poorly educated and don't really have common sense. It's a no-no. There's no way I would go after Vlad's ex-girlfriend.
Right.
I'm so loyal that if I met a woman and she said, oh yeah, I used to date Vlad. Oh, I can't with you, baby.
Right.
I won't even put my in it, excuse my language. Because that's how I move. Other people don't move like that, but You see me in Paris, you see me all over the world. Why would the I want to do that to mess up a relationship?
He explained that in most circles, especially among people who value loyalty, certain actions can be seen as crossing boundaries, not necessarily because of jealousy, but because of how trust and discretion are interpreted in those environments. And when those boundaries are repeatedly ignored, people start forming opinions over time, whether fair or not. This becomes especially sensitive for Justin Bieber because online speculation has often linked him to broader industry narratives involving powerful figures like Sean Diddy Combs. However, it's important to note that many of these claims remain rumors and unverified discussions, not established facts.
It's going to be hard to figure it out if it does exist.
Do you believe the guy in the tape is white?
If he's bigger than Diddy, and he's not none of the names that I said, probably so. But then they say he was young too.
Yeah, they say he was young.
Let me get his name right. I hope it ain't the Bieber. I hope it's not the Bieber.
That's a good one. It might be him. But if they saying that the guy is young and he's an A-lister, I can't think of that many black people, man.
Right. Not at all. And somebody that's more powerful, more of a celebrity than Diddy. You understand what I'm saying? If they were saying somebody that was more celebrity than Diddy, he was an A-lister, he was younger. You know what I'm saying? And if he's not black, it would have to be the Bieber. That's his name, Bieber? They said I got that wrong too. Justin Bieber, allegedly. I don't know, bro.
Right. But when you heard the news that Diddy, he had a tape with another man, did that catch you by surprise or no?
Well, all this shit is by surprise to me. A lot of this shit is by surprise to me, to be totally honest, man. Because I knew Puff, I knew Puff Daddy. I knew Diddy before he was Love and Brother Love and back to Diddy. So, no, but the diddler, he's the diddler now. A lot of it's surprising, but it's not unheard of. Because you hear of all kinds of shit, and whether it registered with you or you internalize it or something like that, that's a whole nother story.
Gene Deal made it clear from the start that a lot of what's being discussed is unverified. Even he acknowledged that much of it falls into the category of conversations and speculation rather than confirmed fact. Still, the fact that these discussions are happening at all shows how much the narrative has shifted over time and how closely people are now re-examining old stories through a new lens.
This tape that's being shopped around, a Diddy and another male, they say the other male is an A-list celebrity.
I would wonder if he's white or black. And if I'm looking at any black guys that are A-listers that's bigger than Diddy, there's only one that I could come up with. And there's a few I could come up with. Will Smith. He's bigger than Diddy. I would think Nick Cannon is bigger than Diddy. Who else on the black that are black actors or black in the business that's an A-lister that's bigger than Diddy, that's black? That's hard to think. But then if you got the A-listers, you know, you got to realize he ran with that black that Rat Pack. And I don't even say their names because they said I got their names wrong last time. What's his name? Kushner? What's the other guy? Leonardo? Yeah, his name. Man, I don't keep up with these cats. But I heard that that's not only the tape that's being shopped. There's some other tapes out there, other people too with him. And him doing some things with some other people. So It's quite a few tapes that might be out there, what they're hearing, and I don't want to see the tapes, but I want to know if they really true. Because if they got if they got some tapes out there and it's with some underage, whether it's celebrities or not, it's gonna be crazy, bro.
Gene Deal also pointed out that if any real, verifiable evidence exists, it would likely surface through proper legal or investigative channels. In cases involving serious allegations, things ultimately move toward scrutiny, where claims are either supported by proof or dismissed accordingly. Until that happens, much of it remains unconfirmed discussion, and that's where things currently stand. So instead of focusing only on specific names or moments involving Justin Bieber and Sean Diddy Combs, the bigger question becomes broader. What kind of environments are young artists placed into, and what safeguards actually exist to protect them as they grow in the industry? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.